In this first video, what we're going to cover is basically an introduction to ClickBank and familiarize you with some of the terminology and what you'll be seeing, what you have to deal with, and why ClickBank is so beneficial. We're focusing on getting products approved on ClickBank. A lot of people have issues with, when they try to submit a product to ClickBank, because they don't have all their ducks in a row, so to speak. They have to deal with rejections and then make modifications and then rejections and back and forth and back and forth. And that can take a few days in between emails, depending on the workload there at ClickBank. So what we want to do is demonstrate to you how you can get your site, your product, everything set up so that when you submit that product to ClickBank, it just comes back saying that it's approved and you don't have any issues. Okay, so this is going to be kind of an introduction video. First off, we're going to talk about what ClickBank is. ClickBank facilitates the order processing. So that's one thing that ClickBank does. They actually take the payments, and in addition to that, they facilitate you having a resource, a network of affiliate marketers who are willing to promote your product. And totally fantastic, because it can multiply the amount of sales that you have exponentially, given the fact that you can't do all the marketing yourself. So ClickBank is a place where vendors can sign up, which would be what you are if you have a product that you want to sell. They can take care of the payments, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And then it's also a place where affiliates can come, people who want to sell or promote products, I should say. And you can get a lot of affiliates promoting your product, meaning that you don't have to worry about the advertising. A lot of people create products on ClickBank, and they don't even promote it. They just let other people promote it for them, and you give them a commission. That's the way it works. So maybe you have a $40 product, and I'm just going to use round numbers for the sake of math, and you give 50% commission. So it's a digital product, right? It doesn't cost you anything to distribute it, essentially. You might have had some costs incurred in creating the product, getting graphics for it, that kind of stuff, but redistributing it, there's no duplication fees or anything, so it just over and over and over again it gets sold. So instead of you, and I'll be up front with you here, instead of you paying for advertising, which you're going to if you have to promote it yourself, you let affiliates do the promoting for you. So instead of basically paying that $20 per sale on advertising, you're going to split it with an affiliate. And then you have multiple affiliates promoting the product for you. So that $40 product, let's say you give 50%, so you give them 20 and you get 20. That's how it works. What is a vendor? I've already mentioned what a vendor is, kind of vaguely, but let's get into it a little bit more. Basically, it is someone who has created a digital product that they will be then making available on ClickBank. So in the terms of ClickBank, that's what a vendor is. Somebody like you and me who has a digital product that they are selling through the ClickBank network. What is an affiliate? An affiliate is someone who promotes those digital products that vendors create. So it's really a nice relationship. You, as the vendor, make a product, and then you submit it to ClickBank. Then affiliates come, and you can work out relationships with people Maybe you know marketers, and you want them to promote the product for you. You can work that out and tell them, hey, go here and get your affiliate link, and you'll be able to promote my product. Or in addition to that, I should say, affiliates can come to the ClickBank marketplace. They can do a search for products, and they can just find your product and decide that they want to promote it for you. They don't need your permission. There's no relationship that has to be undergo there. They can just promote it whenever they want to. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about what it means to be a ClickBank vendor. A ClickBank vendor is someone who's created a product and submitted it to ClickBank, And now there are certain things that ClickBank gives them as a service, and it's very nice and very convenient. Uh, Selling stuff online yourself, like if you were to not use ClickBank, in other words, there are certain hurdles that a lot of times people run up to and they can't get over, and it causes some problems. One of them is merchant credit card processing. As a ClickBank vendor, you don't have to worry about the credit card processing because ClickBank does all the processing. Now, the way this works is ClickBank actually gets a percentage of the sale. So they will take a small portion for the credit card processing fees and for facilitating all the services that they do. They take a portion out of that. But it's very convenient and it's very easy without click. If you started a website right now and you said, okay, I want to sell stuff and I want to take credit cards, you got to get a merchant credit card account, and there's a little bit of hassle involved in that. Definitely some hassle in setting up your website to process that stuff, shopping cart and all that kind of stuff. It's a big pain, and it can be pretty tough. With ClickBank, they take care of everything. So all we have to do is essentially, once we have an approved product, we put a special link on our sales page where they can purchase that product, and that's it. Once they click the link, ClickBank takes over from there. Fraud prevention can be a big hassle if you're having to do it yourself. With ClickBank, they handle that. So, as far as somebody using a credit card that they shouldn't be using, ClickBank tries to do everything that they can to prevent that kind of thing from occurring, and they're pretty good at it. And trust me, you don't want to have to deal with that yourself. Customer billing inquiries. With this, I want to say that it's not that you will never get billing inquiries, but most of that is going to be handled through ClickBank. And the only reason you have to deal with this is because some people don't know, some of your customers don't know that they need to talk to ClickBank directly. And with my products that I sell on ClickBank, my technical support people know that whenever somebody does ask a question about billing, all you do is you refer them to ClickBank, so they don't actually have to handle it. They just refer it to them, and ClickBank's going to handle everything as far as updating payment methods or cancellations, refunds, any of that kind of stuff. ClickBank is going to actually take care of that. No hassles with advertising. You really don't have to do anything if you don't want to for promoting your product, as far as going out there and doing pay-per-click campaigns or getting banners, stuff like that. You can just let affiliates totally handle it. Let them handle all the advertising, and you focus on the business itself. It's kind of like having a sales force where each one of your affiliates is a sales manager. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to, pay for the advertising. You don't have to worry about which advertising methods are working and which ones aren't. You don't have to worry about any kind of traffic generation at all. In fact, the only kind of promoting that it's really a good idea to definitely do is promoting your product in the ClickBank marketplace, or if you have affiliate relationships already, JV relationships, then promoting the product to them so that they will promote it. That's really the only thing that you have to deal with. Now, it doesn't mean you can't. You totally can. There's nothing wrong at all with selling or promoting your product actively to your own customer base. Totally fine, especially if you have a list of, let's say you have a list of customers that have already purchased products from you before, and this is your first time trying to do something on ClickBank. No problem. You just get the product set up, get it approved, and then you can promote that same offer to your list, essentially just as though you were an affiliate for yourself. It's perfectly fine to do that. It just means you don't have to do it. If you want to promote, by all means do so, but you don't have to. Who can be a ClickBank vendor? You know what? ClickBank is available as a vendor and as an affiliate of the ClickBank network in over 150 countries. So what that tells us is a large chunk of the world. I don't know how many countries there are in the world, but I don't think there's a whole lot more than that. Um, just about anybody can really, as long as you're in one of those supported countries. And that is a list. It's a very extensive list that is on their webpage, and you can look up that list to see if you qualify. More than likely you do. And they do add countries to that on occasion. So, and I can't tell you what the specifications are, why they do and don't, accept applicants from different countries, but most people will be in that list of approved countries. Other than that, there are really no limitations. They're not particularly picky about, meeting up with certain qualifications aside from adhering to their rules and getting your product approved. And that's what our course is all about. As long as you can do that, you're fine. It's not like with a merchant account where you have to, go through a credit check, or you have to make an initial deposit, stuff like that. No problem. As long as you are abiding by the rules that they have and you get your product approved and you stick to the terms, you're fine. And that's it. Nothing more complicated. What does it cost to get a product approved or listed on ClickBank? Let me tell you this first. You will sign up and you will get, if you haven't signed up already, you will get an ID that is for your account. With that account, you can promote other people's products and you can create your own products and sell those products. So it's kind of like you're just getting an account that is for ClickBank. It's not a specific vendor account or a specific affiliate account. It works as both. For that one account, what you'll find is that you probably set up different accounts, because I advise you to have an account that you do use for promotions, for selling other people's products if you want to be an affiliate, and then have a different account for your product that you're going to sell. Also, if you're going to sell multiple products, if they're not related, I recommend that you have a different account for at least different niches, so that you can just track things better and be aware of where the money's coming in, and just have a better idea of what's going on. So it's better to do that. That being said, you can have one account and do everything with that one account. Your first product for the account is going to be $49.95 to pay to get that approved. And you'd only have to pay once it is approved. So you don't have to worry about paying for it and then they reject it and then you got to do it again. You only pay once it is approved. So, like I said, that product, the first product, is what you pay for that one account, right? If you add another product to that same account, you don't have to pay again. It's just for the one initially. Now, if let's say you were to create a different product that was in an unrelated niche, and you created a separate account, then for that product you would have to pay again a $49.95 fee on approval. But really, it's worth it. The $50 is nothing compared to making the sales, right? It's just cost of doing business. So I recommend for unrelated products you get a separate account, and even consider using a different account to do promotions. It's advisable to do that just because, if nothing else, if there was a problem with one of your accounts, in other words, if I'm selling a certain product, and let's say I'm selling 3 or 4 different products and I've got 3 or 4 different accounts, and then I've got a 5th account for promoting people's products, other people's products. Well, if something were to happen to, let's say with one of those products, something just fluky happens, right? And ClickBank decides to shut down that account. It doesn't affect the other accounts. So they're still going, and I don't have to worry about it, right? But if something if I have one account that I'm doing everything, and for some reason there was something maybe that I didn't know I was supposed to be doing, and I mess up, and ClickBank decides they're going to shut down that account, it's going to affect everything. So any promotion stuff that I got going on or other products, all that's going to get shut down at all at once, and that that could be quite a shock. How many products can I sell? 500 per account, so a ginormous amount for each account. So with just one account, you can set up 500 products. And once we actually get into ClickBank and you see the process of managing your accounts, I'm going to show you all that. You'll see how this whole multiple products things come into play, because you can have lots of different you can have several different products, you can have recurring products, and you want to be able to have multiple products, trust me. All right, what types of products can we sell on ClickBank? What are the requirements, basically? Basic product requirements are the product needs to be original, or you have to have a legitimate license to sell that product. Fair enough, right? That means you have to own the content. You can, for example, if you buy a private label rights product, you can put that on ClickBank because you have the rights to sell it. Obviously, if you created the product, it's an original product, you have the rights to sell it. So you can't do something that really would be illegal. A lot of the requirements at ClickBank are they're just common sense. You can't do illegal stuff on ClickBank. That's the main thing. So you have to own the product or own the rights to sell it. It has to be a digital product. Digital means that it can be downloaded. Simply a format that somebody can transfer over the internet. If you could send something as an email attachment, or if you could download it from a website, that's the kind of product that it has to be. So we're talking about ebooks, typically in PDF format, the Adobe Acrobat Reader. We're talking about Flash videos or QuickTime videos, things like that. One particular thing I want to note here, however you create the product, the final version that you deliver to your customer needs to be in a fairly common, popular format. As example, if you write an ebook in Microsoft Word, you save it as a DOC file or a DOCX with Word 2007. You don't typically want to sell that product as is on ClickBank, because not everybody has Microsoft Word. Some people that have Microsoft Word, they might not have Word 2007. So in other words, it's not compatible. You wouldn't want to save a video file in a format that is not readily available to everyone. So for example, you might not do the Microsoft WMV format simply because it might be difficult for Macintosh users to view that. So that's the kind of thing we have to take into consideration. So that being said, Adobe Acrobat Reader, the PDF format, most every computer in the world has that, I think. If they're connected to the internet for any length of time, they've got the Acrobat Reader. Flash video is also the most compatible with different formats. It doesn't matter if it's a Mac or if it's a PC. It doesn't matter really how old the computer is, as long as they have an internet connection and they can have the latest Flash video player, you're fine. Now, as a supplemental product, you can have a physical version or extra content or whatever that you send out to the customer as well, but it can only be as a supplement. In other words, the product that they download, they have to be able to get everything out of that product with the download version. So the physical product that you send out cannot be like something that's mandatory for them to have in order to utilize the service or the product. So you can ship them out something like a CD or a DVD, a real physical book or a report, something like that, but it is, again, as supplemental material. A nice example of that is, let's say that you have some videos. You make the videos available as a download, but let's say they're huge because it's a big, long 20-hour video course, right? And they're just humongous. If you specify to them, let them know that the videos are very large, but as a bonus, they're going to get a physical DVD delivered as well. So when they get to the page where they can actually do the download, they can then opt to not do the download, of their own choosing, because it's a huge download. So maybe if they got a slow internet connection, they decide to just not do it and wait for the DVD. That's the kind of example there. All right, let's talk I'll tell you what, let's take a break real quick, and in the next video we're going to talk about some of the prohibited items, things that you would not want to sell or cannot actually on ClickBank.